What's up, everyone? This is Betamax. My name is Fidel, and joining me on this episode is Birdy and our homie Jacob.
What's up?
Hello.
Got a special episode for you guys. Gonna be talking some video game stuff. But first, how you been, Jacob? I haven't really hung out in a while.
I'm good. Just working and living in this place. Just trying to.
Yeah, dude. This
piece
house
this
is
place
super
together.
nice, man.
Yeah, it's been about a year, and I feel like there's so much we still haven't done.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you saw our backyard, it's just a plot of dirt. But it's coming together. You know, it's a work in progress.
Yeah.
It just takes time and money.
Yeah.
So we're taking things one step at a time.
Yeah, it's definitely dope in here. Like, I like it a lot.
Yeah, like I mean, I said it when we got here, but I love like how open it feels, you know.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I was stoked to have you guys over.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
definitely stoked to show you guys this place.
Thanks,
I
dude.
know, made us dinner, served us drinks.
I know, that was really nice. This beer is like, it makes the beer that I've been drinking lately taste like piss. It's really good.
Makes you reevaluate your life.
Yeah, it makes me really want to.
I've always known you to be like I guess a connoisseur of beer.
Yeah, it's funny because it started with beer and it's kind of branched off to other things in my life.
Yeah.
Like I'm like that with coffee. Like I'm very particular about the coffee I buy.
Yeah.
And how I make it. It started with like beer and then it kind of fell into everything else.
Is that like a choice that you base on like how your body reacts to these certain things?
No, it's more like because I nerd out on the details, like the flavor of a beer, like this Oktoberfest we're drinking, like the color. I like the color of it, the flavors, how it's kind of malty, but it's kind of like like the malt is kind of roasted, so it has like kind of a caramelly kind of flavor.
Yeah.
So I nerd out on the details, and I do that with coffee too.
Okay.
Yeah, like I've known you for being a coffee guy too.
Yeah.
I've actually like been like dabbling in coffee. I don't know coffee at all. I've always been like coffee's gross to me. But I remember one time hanging out with Omar and Ronnie, and we went to this coffee shop in downtown Riverside, and I was like, guys, like I have no idea how to order coffee. I've never ordered coffee. Like I don't drink coffee, but like I'm down to try it, you know. And then I remember Ronnie being like, just order a black coffee if this is gonna be like your first time. Like,
just straight black.
Just straight black.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he told me. So that's what I did. Fucking delicious.
Really?
Was it that one spot? What's it called?
It's on
It's not Bad to the Grind, or it's not bad.
No.
To the Grind.
It's on Iowa. It used to be a video store. I forgot what it's called.
Isn't it still called that? Isn't it called like
It
Video?
still says like Video Town or something,
Yeah.
whatever on it. But I forgot what it's called now. But yeah, just a straight black. It was so good.
Now, was it just like the drip coffee? Was it drip coffee?
I have no idea.
Because like some spots do the pour overs. Like you see that Chemex over there.
Yeah.
Like that's where you grind up the beans. You put it like the paper filter, and then you do like the slow pour.
Oh, okay.
Is that what that glass thing is
Yeah.
over there? Oh, really?
Yeah.
I was looking at that and I was like, what is that? Is that like lemonade pitcher or something?
No,
You
it's
know?
for making pour overs.
Well,
And like, I find like that's like the best. If you want to taste coffee, that's the best way to do it.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
A pour over. Which if you guys are down, I can make you some later.
Yes, please.
I'm down. Like I said, I'm down to try it.
I also have cold brew in the fridge too.
Fuck yeah, dude. You
Man,
want to wake
fucking
up?
best host over here.
I know, dude.
But yeah, getting to the topic, the reason I wanted to talk about this was because we did hang out a couple weeks ago, I want to say.
Yeah, that show.
When we went to go see Glare, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed you and Birdy having like a conversation about The Last of Us. And I was like, man, it was just interesting listening to you guys like talking about it. And I mean, I've played both the first and second game as well, but I have yet to finish either of them, even though I know how the first one ends. But yeah, I just wanted to have like a conversation about it, specifically along the lines of like how immersive and cinematic like video games have come to be nowadays, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
I also want to talk about how these type of video games correlate with how like the film industry reacts to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like how did like, because as long as I've known you, like one of my earliest memories of hanging out with you is at Danny's house, and you'd always be playing World of Warcraft.
So it was actually pre World of Warcraft. It was one of the originals. It was Warcraft 3.
Oh, okay.
So it was Warcraft 3. Reign of Chaos was like the first one that came out.
Yeah.
But the one that me and Danny specifically played a lot was Warcraft 3: The Frozen Throne.
Yeah.
And we would nerd out on that game, just because it's a real time strategy.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of skill, and the people online you play against are really good. So it's fast paced. Once it starts, like it's live. There's no pushing pause. It's just, you're just going.
Yeah, because I remember just like sitting in like Danny's living room, and you'd be on the computer, and the rest of us would probably just be like bullshitting or talking shit or watching Danny play amazing music on whatever instrument he had. And
like the Drake, because he had that couch. I don't know, what was it, like a jungle print couch?
Yeah.
Like a black jungle print couch. Then he had his desk awkwardly like sitting here, and then he had like the drum set, and then he had like guitars. Just a really awkward setup, but yeah.
Didn't he have like the drummer of Metallica's drum set or something?
I think that used to be Lars.
Yeah.
Lars's drum set. I think it was like an early one.
He stole it?
No.
No.
I want to say they got it in Hollywood or something.
Oh, like he bought like the same one he uses.
Yeah, I think he used it at one point. I think Lars used it as like a practice set.
Yeah.
So like when they went to go buy the drum set, like the guy at the store was like, "Oh, Lars used this thing for a while. It's not the best, but
Yeah.
I can give you a good price on it." And his mom went for it.
But yeah, I just remember like just us chilling in there, and then Omar would always want you to like get off the computer because he'd always want to go on. I don't even know what he would do on there because he wouldn't play.
He was always just looking stuff up on eBay.
That's right.
He was one of the first people.
Right.
He was one of the first people I ever knew that was into like streetwear.
Yeah.
And was into eBay.
Yeah, because he was always looking up like Supreme shit.
He was always looking up Supreme shit.
Yeah.
He was the first person to show me Supreme stuff. I mean, I knew about Supreme from skateboard magazines, but to see the hype that was around it, Omar definitely showed me. I remember the first one he showed me was I'm trying to remember which. It was a Wu-Tang member. I think it was.
Wasn't it Raekwon?
Yes, it was Raekwon. And it had like a little Elmo on it. It was a white shirt, and I remember that shirt was hot on the streets, like original like hypebeast stuff.
Yeah,
like,
I remember him looking at that one and like the Mike Tyson one.
The Mike Tyson one, that was a big one. See, those shirts now are probably worth so much money.
Yeah, like
he let me borrow because he was pretty like generous with his stuff back then.
Yeah.
He'd always kick me down shirts. Like I remember he gave me like a super limited Earth Crisis shirt, but it's all stuff that he would sell on eBay.
Yeah.
Which is stuff that I ended up picking up later, like around like 2015. I started doing the eBay thing, but I'm like, man, I should have started back when Omar was doing it. Yeah. He was like way ahead of the game. Yeah, that's what he would do. He'd want me to stop playing Warcraft so he can go on there and like do stuff on eBay or look up some random shit, usually funny stuff, like funny videos. Yeah,
but so going back to like the topic of like, I guess immersive like cinematic games, what would you say would be like an early example of that? Like we were kind of discussing it a little bit before we started recording, but what would you say would like be an early example of an open world type game that like interested you?
Open world, I think Ocarina of Time is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Because the view of the game, you're running around and you're kind of just looking at the world around you. That was the first game I ever played that was like in an open world type setting. Aside from that, I want to say it was like Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
And some of the Grand Theft Autos.
Yeah, because like I feel like Grand Theft Auto definitely put it like popularized it, I guess.
Made it super popular. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Birdie?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like open world games, those are like the godfathers of that shit, like Ocarina of Time, like GTA.
Yeah.
But as far as like cinematic, like the game that was like making you feel like you were playing like a movie, to me, like the first game I played was Metal Gear.
Oh, I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that, but it didn't really fit the kind of like open world thing
because it's
kind of touching on.
Because those games, like the GTA games, like they did such a good job of like combining that open world gameplay with like a story that you become immersed in.
Yeah.
Because Ocarina of Time, it had like a RPG skeleton to it.
Yeah.
But still, you had like all the freedom to follow like step by step and then unfold the story as you go. And GTA kind of had the same thing, except it gave you way too much to play with. You could waste like 5 hours of your day just driving around or something, you know.
Yeah.
But the cinematic, like my first cinematic experience with like a video was definitely Metal Gear. I was like, dude, like it came out, like, when did it come out?
97.
Yeah, I was like 6 years old, but I didn't play it until I was maybe like 10 or 11. And it was like my stepdad at the time. He had like a copy because he was like a younger dude too.
Yeah.
He was like I think when I first met him, he was still like in his like mid 30s or some shit, like close to our age. And like I remember like he was like, "Oh, you want to play some good?" Because he caught me like playing like Ocarina of Time or like some fucking whack ass PS1 game like Gex or something.
Yeah.
Like he like caught me playing that. He was like, "Play this," and
Play
like
this.
And like we had like the PS1, and it was around the time like the PS1 was like the shit. Like it was like that video game system where it was like, man, if you don't have it, then you're fucking lame, you know?
Yeah.
It was like you either had a PS or you either had a PlayStation or you had a 64.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of like that, like you know, that battle between the two. Same with like back in the day when it was like Super Nintendo and Sega.
Yeah.
When they were kind of battling it out. Yeah. That's kind of what it was with PlayStation and the 64.
So like when we got like our PlayStation, well, we didn't even have one actually. We used to just go to like, we used to live in like these apartments, and we'd just go to like one of our neighbors.
Yeah.
And like he was like spoiled kid, so he'd be like, "Oh, bring a video game and we'll play it."
Yeah.
And like he like gave me like it was like a 2-disc pack.
Oh yeah, there was two.
Yeah, it was like a 2-disc pack. It had like a pretty gnarly white cover with like the red
letters.
Yeah, dude.
Super clean looking case.
That thing was nice, dude. And I remember like that. Yeah, that was like my first experience being like, damn, I'm feeling emotions here, you know?
Yeah, because the music, the visuals, they had like, you know, the little cutscenes.
Yeah.
I remember them doing the cutscenes. I mean, looking back on it, they weren't very good looking compared to now, but for the time, they were pretty advanced. I think the only other game that I saw do those cutscenes was Final Fantasy VII. Is when they started doing those like gnarly cutscenes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was definitely a time.
Yeah, because if you play like Metal Gear, the first Metal Gear, like on the PS1, like if you play it right now, you're gonna be like, the fuck am I looking at, dude? I'm just looking at vibrating polygons here.
Yeah, it's definitely outdated compared to now. Mm-hmm. But video games are ridiculous now.
Yeah, I was terrible at those games, like Metal Gear. Like I was definitely like that kid playing like just Tony Hawk or Crash Bandicoot.
Because they're the
simple games, you know. But like as far as like those type of games like Metal Gear, Resident Evil, like those, I was terrible at those games.
They definitely required a lot of patience. And
yeah,
a lot of people would get frustrated.
Yeah,
and you know, games like Crash Bandicoot are just they're just fun. They're generally fun.
Yeah.
You die. Okay, you start over.
Yeah,
but
you'd have to worry about like losing lives.
Yeah, or like wasting ammo. There's just so many variables in games like Metal Gear, so like I could see why people wouldn't be into it.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. You have to be careful. It requires a lot of attention to detail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, like as far as like for me when I first started like really getting immersed into it was honestly like a lot more recent. I want to say maybe like probably the Grand Theft Auto games, but really getting deep into it was actually God of War for the PS4.
That was a really good one.
That one like sucked me into the story. Like it felt like I was like playing a movie basically. But like, did you end up finishing that one?
I don't think I did. I was more into the Assassin's Creed. Okay. I was more into those ones, and then eventually, my cousin Javen got me into The Witcher.
Oh, okay. Have you checked out the show?
Yeah, I dig the show.
It's good?
Yeah, it's actually really good.
I haven't watched it.
Kind of loosely. I mean, there's a lot of elements from the game.
Yeah.
But I think it's based more on the books, right?
It's based more on the books, yeah. But it's good. I like it. Henry Cavill does a good job.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. He plays the fucking.
The comical relief is really good.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's really funny. There's like it's mostly I would say it's mostly a comedy.
Yeah.
First, and then an action kind of like thriller type show after that. Just because there's just so much comedy in it. Like it's really funny.
All right, so I want to get into like the meat of it now. Like, what were your guys' like impressions of playing The Last of Us, the first one, for the first time?
So for me, the first time I ever saw it was when I was living with my cousin Javen.
Mm-hmm.
He had that game.
Yeah.
It was on PS3, and I remember I walked in on him playing it, and I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah.
Like, just because the at the time, the physics and the gameplay was, it was different than anything I had seen up until that point.
Yeah.
So I was curious. I sat down and I watched him play for a couple hours. And then, he eventually made it through the game, and then I was like, "Hey dude, can I play?"
Yeah.
And then he let me sit down and start playing it. Yeah, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I thought the concept was cool. I like that they weren't technically, zombies.
Yeah.
I like that there was
Yeah,
like a
that.
backstory. The fact that there was this fungus and this like fungal virus like pandemic thing that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I felt it was a better approach than just doing like standard run of the mill zombie, type game.
Yeah.
So that struck me.
Because I think it was inspired by a real fungi out there. Like in, like
the cordyceps
Amazon.
are real.
Yeah.
Like if you Google like cordyceps, you can see like those exist out in the wild.
Oh shit! I had no idea.
It's pretty gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you like research it and you
Yeah.
watch like videos, like man, it's fucking nasty, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that shit's gross. Like it's like fungi that like takes over like an insect's body.
Yeah.
And like turns it into a zombie. It does whatever it wants. It like uses its like mating techniques to attract other insects and then infects them.
Yeah.
Like, it's fucking gnarly, dude.
Damn, I had no idea it was like an actual thing. That's scary.
It's really scary.
Yeah. So like you enjoyed the story and everything?
Yeah, I enjoyed when I remember when I first went through the game, like the way it starts, with when things first start popping off, you see, you start off with Sarah, and you walk around, you go, you walk into Joel's room and you see the TV on, and it was the first time I'd seen a game where you had stuff going on the TV that was talking about like live events, and then outside the window you see those explosions and you see stuff like popping off.
Yeah.
It felt really immersive. It really puts you in the scene, and it makes you feel that. And then you walk around, and then you go downstairs, and then Joel runs in, freaking out, and then the neighbor who's infected breaks in the door,
Mm-hmm.
and then Joel has to shoot him.
Mm-hmm.
And you could see like that was the first time Joel had killed somebody.
Yeah.
And even Sarah was like flipped out. She's like, "Dad, you shot him." And Joel had to tell her like, "Dude, like something's going on here. Like we gotta go."
That's crazy that you remember the daughter's name, because I did not remember her name.
Yeah. Well, I'm a nerd for that game, and I really appreciated what they did with it and how they. They get you right from the get-go. You're anxious.
Yeah.
They get you anxious from the get-go. And then, the whole scene when you're running through the city, like you're carrying Sarah after the car accident, because I think she like breaks her leg or something.
Yeah.
And then Joel's carrying her, and like Tommy, and they're just making their way through the city. Buildings are like, things are blowing up. People are dying, freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It got me. I remember my heart racing and just feeling super anxious. Like I was like, it's like living through a movie.
Yeah.
And like that was the first time I'd seen a game where the gameplay was like you were watching a movie.
Yeah.
It blew me away.
Yeah. Like I definitely felt like I said, I'm terrible at these type of games, but I love watching people play these type of games, especially The Last of Us. I loved watching people play it just because it felt like I was watching a movie. And like, what would you say was your experience with it, Birdy?
With The Last of Us Part 1?
Yeah.
I had first found out about it through YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Cause like, when did I first play it?
Because I remember I had it for the PS3 as well.
I didn't have it I didn't have it at all, and then like I kept hearing it just kept popping up. It was one of those games where like everyone just wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
Everyone just had an opinion about it.
Yeah.
Like everywhere, like if you looked into any game forum, it was like Last of Us. You have to play Last of Us.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine, like I'll fucking play it.
You'll buy into the hype.
Yeah. So like I remember looking into it, and it was like a PS3 game, and I was like, why not have a PS3? I have a PS4. And then I found out about the PS4 remaster, and I was like, oh, I'll just buy it.
Yeah.
And then I bought it, and I bought it, and then I didn't play it for a long time after I bought it.
No.
And then we visited Jacob when he used to live like in his apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him playing it. Yeah, I saw him playing it, and I was like, man, that looks fun, dude. Like, I'm gonna play that shit.
Yeah.
You know. And then that following like week or two after that, that's when I sat down and was like, I'm gonna fucking play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I played it, and I was like, damn, I regret like letting that shit sit on my shelf for like the longest time. And yeah, dude, like it's pretty gnarly. Like it's really like, because like these, like I get really picky with like the kind of video games I play. Like if I'm not immersed in the story, then I have to have fun.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, that's why like when I was a kid growing up, I was always playing like Donkey Kong or fucking Mario Party or some, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was either I was into the story or I was having like a blast.
Yeah.
And if it was both, like, oh damn, you know, that's tight. And that's how I felt about The Last of Us. It was like, not only was I like having a blast, but I was like getting so immersed in like whatever story this game had. And yeah, like at the get-go of like playing as Sarah, and then what happens to Sarah, and then like showing how that transformed the main character into what he would be like a couple years from there.
Yeah.
You know, and you're playing as this like, you know, guy who's just kind of like, I hate everything. You know, like I hate that I'm breathing. I hate that, like, I'll do what I have to do to make sure that I eat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll help out like other people or whatever, my friends and shit. So it was like really cool. And then like the story plays out in a very organic way. And like, man, that was like one of the first video games that I had played in a long time. Because before then, I think like the last video game I played where I was like getting emotional was it was probably Snake Eater.
Yeah.
Metal Gear Part 3. Like that was probably the last game where I was like, yeah, like
you got the feels.
Yeah, where I was like playing it, and you're just like you have your control in your hand, and you're just kind of like, damn, I want to cry right now, dude. And but that was like still in high school. Yeah. You know, and I played The Last of Us like fucking like 4 years ago or some shit. 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, but that was like, and then when I got to the end, and then like everything played out the way it did, and then the characters made the choices that they made, it was just kind of like, can't wait for part 2. You know.
So you're, because that was gonna be my next question, is like, were you guys like satisfied with the ending, like the way that game ended?
Well, I want to hear what Jacob has to say about that.
Yeah, I was satisfied with the ending of the first one. Yeah. One thing I wanted to touch upon with Eddie, or what Birdy was talking about, was like that was the first time I'd ever seen a video game that like literally broke your heart within like the first 10 minutes of gameplay.
Oh yeah.
Like with like with what happens to Sarah and everything. Like normally, like how in movies and stuff, they normally would like fade to black. It would show something happen, and then it would fade to black, and then they basically insinuate that his daughter died. Yeah. This was like the first time I'd ever seen a video game like really put you there in the middle of it and make you feel it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it kept you there, like like with him like crying and everything, and just like, and then it just goes black, and it's The Last of Us. Yeah. And then it cuts to like,
what a cold open.
No, yeah. It was, because usually the movies, TV shows, video games, they normally leave it to like the imagination. They don't really like, they're not raw like that. And that's one thing The Last of Us was from the beginning, was just pretty brutally honest and raw. Yeah. Like that was different to me. And that's what definitely stuck out to me. But in terms of the ending, yeah, I was happy with how it ended. Yeah. I had no beef with it.
Like, if they never made a follow-up, would that have been okay?
No.
No.
For me, no, because they, no, because they leave it on kind of a cliffhanger where, they basically insinuate that, Ellie doesn't fully believe what Joel said about what happened with the Fireflies. Yeah. You can see it in her eyes, and
she's doubtful.
Yeah. You could see it, like, but I was definitely curious about, what is it called? Jackson? the town they live in. Is it Jackson?
Oh, the one with Tommy.
Yeah, Tommy's city. I think it's called Jackson. Yeah. So like you see it out in the distance, and I was definitely like I wanted to see how that.
Because that's where they were heading back to, right? Because they were like, we're done, dude. We have to find home base.
Yeah.
And that was home base for them. Mm-hmm. But damn, what a fucking like. Yeah, dude. Like when I finished that game the first time. Yeah. Because I played that game like 3 times already.
Oh shit.
Yeah, dude. Like I love that game. But like the first time I played it, I was just like, whew. Especially that fucking hospital scene, dude. Like that hospital level.
I really like that scene. I really like that. I think that was, to be honest, the beginning of it when it shows Sarah get killed, like that didn't make me cry. I cried at the end. Mm-hmm. Like when he was like running out, like carrying her, like running out of the hospital. That part got me. Yeah. Like that part got me for sure.
Because like, the game doesn't let you make a choice. Yeah. You know, like it makes it like I said, the story is so organic the way that it unfolds that like you're almost like you're so understanding as to why Joel makes this decision that he does, because like when they get there they're like we're here, we just save the world, but then they're just kind of like, okay, you save the world, but now we gotta get rid of this person. And it's kind of like, wait, what? Yeah. I don't want to do that. Yeah. You know? It's like, fuck the world, dude. Yeah. Like, this one life is better than millions of lives right now. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not going to, fuck no. Like, you're crazy. And, like, when you realize that Joe makes that decision, it, like, rips you even more, because it's like, not only did this guy lose a piece of himself, like, in the beginning of the game, where it was like, you know, he couldn't replace it, but he found something that was, like, worth taking up that mantle of like someone that can look up to me, and I can like show them like that this world is more than just apocalyptic at the moment. You know, there's beautiful things going on right now. Yeah. So when he makes that decision, and like when Jacob was like talking about how like you're carrying her, like dude, the whole time you got your control in your hand and you're carrying this little girl, and you're just like, what?
Losing it, yeah, for sure.
And like the music, like the everything, like the way the levels unfold, because there's like flashlights and shit.
Yeah,
and
the fireflies are like, like they're on your tail, mm-hmm. You know.
Like you're almost sitting down, going like, like I gotta run away from everyone, you know. Like it's fucking gnarly, dude.
Yeah, like the only video game, because like I said, I haven't finished either the first or the second game yet, but the only video game that I can think of that has gotten me like to that emotional point is probably Red Dead Redemption 2.
I still haven't completed Red Dead 2.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
I know how it ends, but I still haven't done it myself.
That ending, like I was like I had a frog in my throat. I was like, fuck, dude.
I mean, the first Red Dead gets you too.
Yeah.
Like you just can't escape it.
Yeah.
You know, after everything he went through.
Yeah.
He finally gets home, and then.
Yeah.
the chickens come home to roost.
But yeah, like that game, that's the only game that I've completed and has got to me emotionally. But yeah, like Last of Us, it's hard for me. Like actually playing is like
the difficulty.
Yeah, like
it's difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and I even would put it like on the easiest settings. Dude, I can't. Like it's so hard for me. Like I don't know what it is. Like I can't. But I did watch Birdy like playing like the second one, and I just enjoy watching like the story unfold, you know. Mm-hmm. So like getting into that, like what was your guys' like anticipation level for the second one when it was like announced that they were gonna do another one?
Well, I wanted to go back to Metal Gear real quick,
all right,
because I wanted to mention that there's like a certain part of that video game that I feel kind of made the template for like future video games, like The Last of Us or like whatever fucking other video game that was as cinematic as that is.
Yeah.
Because there's like a part of the game where like it's like.
And which Metal Gear?
The first Gear.
One? Okay.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. Where like you're playing, you're towards the end, and like you're going against like Metal Gear Rex. Mm-hmm. And like the only way to defeat this big mechanical nuclear warhead launching thing is like to like use like an RPG towards it, but then the thing driving that machine is your brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like another variable that enters the arena out of nowhere, which is like your old best homie, which is like, I think they called him like Gray Fox or something. Yeah. And like, dude, like it's, they made like a remake for GameCube. I suggest you look for it and you play it.
For GameCube?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I suggest you play it.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I want you to understand that this game came out like, bro, I was in fucking middle school, you know? Like I'm 31 right now, you know? Like this shit came out like a long fucking time ago, and there's like video games touching on like this level of like emotional fucking
yeah.
You know? But like that part of the video game that I'm talking about is like, you know, you're going like, you know, generic protagonist versus like antagonist boss battle shit, but then there's like a variable that comes in out of nowhere, and it's like some old war buddy of yours, and like he starts confessing all this shit to you about how like, hey, you know that person that's been helping you the whole time, that's my little fucking sister, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, like all this.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, dude. Like I still remember that to this day, because that's how bad it fucking fucked with my brain.
Yeah.
With my middle school teenager like birdie brain, you know, where it's just like I was like playing and I was like. you know what I mean? Where I was like, no way, this is going on right now. Like am I about to cry? Like, dude, I was playing that game in my room alone.
Yeah.
Because I had my big brother had finally got a PS1, and he put it in his room. We used to share a room, and like I remember playing that. Dude, I like when it was getting emotional, I got up and locked the door. Because I was like, I don't want my big brother or my mom to come in being like, why the fuck are you crying, dude? Oh my God. Why is there a PS1 controller in your hand? You're over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like that part of the game where it's like, you know, your old homie. But the reason I bring this up is because it was very innovative in a way that like it went away from being a cutscene and it put you back into the gameplay.
Yeah.
So like the antagonist is like beating the fuck out of your homie, and your homie's begging you to like put him out of his misery. He's just like, kill me, dude, kill me.
Yeah.
This guy's beating me so hard. It's like it's hard for me to breathe. I want to die. I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Kill me, dude. Like, and it puts you back in the gameplay, and like you aim your RPG at your homie, and like you press the trigger to launch. And the fucking the person you're playing as starts reacting to you, like to you, the person like you, the fucking guy,
like the player.
Yeah,
yeah.
He starts telling you like, I can't do that. I can't do it. That's my friend. I can't kill my friend.
Every time you like.
Yeah, every time you press like, he's like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
I remember that.
Yeah, holy
it's been a long time.
Yeah, dude. Like, dude, like that's how fuck. Like, dude, I'm in my fucking room being like.
Damn, that's kind of fucked up. Is making you like press it over and over.
and it won't like it'll be there for an hour unless you aim at your RPG at your homie and you start pressing the trigger button. But once you do, the main character starts reacting to you.
Yeah.
The player being like telling you like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. That's my friend. I've known him since I was a teenager. I'm not gonna kill him. You know, and to make it worse, that character is like over there telling you like, fucking do it. You know, like, kill me, bro.
Yeah.
Like dude, like I was just like like, you know what I mean? It was like that's why like that game resonated with me so much, and that fucking scene alone, like it's embedded in here, dude.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be like 85 years old one day, hopefully, and it's still gonna be right here. Like it's still gonna be right here.
Yeah.
Like that's how fucking gnarly that shit impacted me. That it's like, and I consider that shit like so innovative that it templated like games like The Last of Us or fucking Uncharted or even like that fucking new samurai game that came out, or Red Dead, you know? Like, it was just like people were definitely looking back at that and being like, you know what, Kojima was onto something here.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm gonna copy that guy. You know what I mean? But I mean, moving on. That's all I have to say.
Do you remember playing that?
Yeah, I totally remember that. It's coming back now that he's talking about like the scene where you're aiming it and you try to shoot it and he's like, no, I can't do it. Like I remember it now. I mean, I remember the way it ends. I remember playing, you know, as Solid Snake running around, and like the Metal Gear Rex is like massive, and you're just like trying to run around and
yeah,
dodge.
You're like an ant.
Yeah, you're like an ant compared to this thing. I remember that, but I didn't remember that particular detail, and that's, yeah, it's all coming back now.
Yeah, dude, like that game is like I said, even the GameCube remake makes it like this, like right here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, get that shit, dude. Because I know you got a GameCube.
Yeah.
So it's like, dude, get that shit. Look for it. Get it.
I gotta check
play
it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so damn, dude, like hearing you talk about that, like I want to play that shit like right now. So, part 2, anticipation levels. Once you heard.
So I was excited because they released a trailer probably like 2-3 years before they actually released it.
Was that the one of her playing the guitar?
No, it was the
forest scene.
No, that came later. That was like the second trailer. Or actually, I don't remember. I remember it was like at a Comic-Con. It might have been Comic-Con 2017 or 2018 when they released like one of the first trailers.
Yeah.
It was either the forest scene or it was the one where them at that dance. At the dance in Jackson.
Yeah, there you go. That was the first one.
The scene where Dina ends up kissing Ellie.
Yeah.
I remember it was either that one or it was the one in the forest. But I remember it creating a lot of hype and getting me really excited and being really bummed that it took them like 3 years before they actually released it.
Yeah.
So like that was a bummer, but it was, for me, it was worth the wait.
Yeah.
So once I actually played it, for me, it was like, okay, this was worth it. I was happy with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like I feel the same way. Even though I feel kind of bad like admitting this, but it's not like the dudes at Naughty Dogs are like listening to me anyways.
Yeah.
But I feel kind of bad because like that game, what year did that game come out? Do you remember?
Which one?
Part 2?
Part 2.
2020.
2020. And I played it a month ago.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's 2022 now. It's like, damn, I feel kind of bad. Like,
I've been playing it on and off since it came out.
The difficulty is definitely higher.
Yeah.
It's definitely harder.
Yeah.
Difficulty is definitely higher in the second one.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially on Grounded. Once you start playing anything above hard, it's insane.
Oh, I'm not going near that.
It's very it requires a lot of patience, and you really got to take your time because when you play on normal, they give you ammo every room you walk into, every drawer you open. Mm-hmm. Okay, there's 5 rounds of pistol ammo, or here's 3 rounds of revolver ammo.
Yeah.
On Grounded, especially like Grounded Plus, almost nothing.
And you played that?
Yeah, I've been it on a handful of times.
Oh wow, God bless you, dude. Because
I'll have to show you guys like how it's like. It's not too bad. It's mostly just having to really take your time.
Yeah.
Really,
You gotta be very resourceful.
You gotta be very resourceful and just be very patient. You gotta take out people one person at a time.
Yeah.
Some of the scenes where you don't have a choice, where they know where you are, and you have to use ammo and stuff, like those scenes are harder, but definitely take advantage of the stealth when it gets into harder difficulties.
Wow.
I'll have to show you guys. It's intense.
I can't imagine it because I only played it in normal, and even then, like the stealth tactics that I was using, I was still getting like, hey, there she is. I was like, oh damn, fuck. Yeah.
So, do you guys feel that the story it built upon the first one pretty good?
Yeah, it definitely provided context because when you get to the end in the first one and you get into the operating room where Ellie is, in the first one they don't really put a lot of emphasis on the doctor and the surgeon who's actually doing it.
Yeah.
And I like that in the second one they provided the context of who he was and the kind of the struggle that Marlene kind of had to go through, because when the doctor basically told her like, look, like we doing this will kill her, but we need to do this for like for humanity. And you could see her kind of struggling with that, because I think it was Ellie's mom that told her, take care of Ellie. Mm-hmm. I don't remember them touching upon what happened to Ellie's mom, but I just know that she pretty much told Marlene like, hey, like take care of her.
Yeah.
And so to see her kind of grappling with that, like like, damn, I have to pretty much give the green light for this doctor to kill someone I promised to protect. I thought that was, I really liked that they touched upon that and kind of gave you the background on the doctor and that, and then using that to kind of create a storyline with Abby and why Abby was trying to get revenge. It just, super, super complex storyline. Mm-hmm. Morally complex is what I would describe The Last of Us. I mean, the series itself, kind of super morally complex. Yeah. You don't really know where to stand. You don't know who the villain is. Yeah. Like, no one's really a villain. Yeah. Like, I mean, in the second one, it could be argued that Ellie kind of becomes a villain at a certain point. Mm-hmm. And, you know, even in the first one, a lot of people thought Joel was like this like complete villain. Yeah. It's like, it's not, you know, it's not black and white. There's a lot of variables into like these characters, and I really enjoyed the writing of how they wrote these characters, and nothing was black and white. Yeah, I definitely respect that they did that with the characters. Like you said, there's not really a clear cut villain and like a clear cut like good guy, I guess. There isn't. Everyone kind of has a reason for what they did, and it kind of just leaves you not knowing how to feel. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's obviously people you root for. Oh, yeah. Like, you know, after Joel dies, you're obviously rooting for Ellie to go get revenge. Yeah. Yeah. But then it reaches a certain point where you're like, okay, I think you guys are even now.
How did you feel about the whole, like, you play 8 hours as Ellie and 8 hours as Abby? I was like a lot of people. Because that was a big deal when this game. It was a big deal when it came out. I remember reading a lot of people put the controller down. Like, I'm not going to play as Abby. Yeah. The first hour of gameplay as Abby was really tough. I had to really muscle through it because I was really upset. like with like the way Joel died. And this goes back to the trailer. In the trailer, they showed Joel in it. And then when the game came out, they flipped it, and then it ended up being Jesse, and you're like, "Fuck." Yeah, dude. So that was upsetting.
Wait, what do you mean? What are you talking about?
So the original trailer they put out,
because there was a scene that they put out there purposely. Yeah. And like they purposely misguided the whole like fandom, like people who wanted to play the game, and like when you played the game, it ended up being someone else.
Oh, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a scene where Ellie's, you know, in Seattle and she drops down off this ledge. Yeah. And someone grabs her from behind and like holds her mouth, and like Ellie's like, and she turns around and she's like, what are you doing here? And it's Joel, and he's like, you think I'd let you do this on your own?
Oh, I remember that trailer. Yeah. I remember that trailer. Yeah. Dude.
And then when you actually, you know, play the game, it turns out to be Jesse. Mm-hmm. Who says that? He's like, you think I'd let you do this on your own? You're just so like, I mean, I knew they were gonna do something like that because, you know, when Joel dies, you're like, okay, that trailer was bullshit, okay, but
how'd you feel about the decision of them killing Joel?
I feel like they had to do it. It had to be in there to keep the storyline going. Yeah. I don't see an angle where they could have kept Joel alive and kept that entire, you know, story going. Yeah. I feel like he had to die for Abby's story to work. Because I can't think of like what else would they have done, like
there's something else
Abby or Abby and them killing Dina or something. Mm-hmm. But that even then it wouldn't really make too much sense. Like they would have to touch upon how close like her and Dina were. It wouldn't work. Yeah. So I feel like the writers were probably like, well, we have to do something. Yeah. So they're like, okay, we'll just kill Joel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely.
What were your feelings on that?
On what?
Them killing Joel. You agree with what he said?
Yeah, definitely 100%. Because I feel like if they didn't kill off Joe and then he like stayed on the story, it would have just been too much. It would have not have made sense. It would have not given you anything to look forward to, you know, like, because like there's like a lot of things wrong with like keeping your protagonist alive for too long. Yeah. They start to feel invincible and when they feel feel invincible, it's like you start to feel like, why am I giving a fuck about this guy again? You know what I mean? It's
that's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like you have to make something gnarly like that happen in order for you to get your audience or your gamers in a place where they can be like, excuse me?
Yeah.
You know, like, what do I have to do next?
Because I do remember reading a lot of people were upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they felt like they got swindled with with the trailer.
The old switcheroo.
Yeah. The old switcheroo.
Yeah, because like you play the first game and you're playing as this character the whole fucking like 8 hours.
Yeah.
And then you play the second game and then you don't even get to play him at all, right?
No. You don't play a Joel.
No.
Actually, no.
Even on the flashbacks.
No, the intro. Because remember, it's him with the guitar and he's cleaning the guitar, telling Tommy about what happened.
Yeah, that's true.
And you pretty much ride. You jump on the horse and you ride back to Jackson.
Yeah.
That's all you play as him.
Yeah, that's true.
And then it cuts to like the cutscene where Joel like goes to like Ellie's little back house and starts like awkwardly talking to her. Like you could tell during that scene there was still kind of like the tension was still kind of fresh.
Yeah.
Where she knew something was up.
Yeah.
Like with what went down with the Fireflies, you can kind of like that scene was very awkward, and I like that they made it I like that they really made you like live through that awkwardness.
Are you talking about the scene where it's like the ballroom scene, like the dancing scene?
No, the scene where Joel like plays that song for her.
Yeah.
That scene is super awkward.
Yeah, that scene is fucking awkward. And it's really touching, too.
It is.
Because it's like, he starts it off with like, you better not make fun of me. And it's like, here's this like guy in his like early 50s being like, don't make fun of me. You know, and it's like, don't act like that when you're that age. You know, but it's like so cute because he's like talking to like this person who he sees like as his daughter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's like so touching. But yeah, it's definitely awkward because you're just like,
you could feel the tension.
Yeah,
you know?
like it's like
you can feel it. Like she's kind of weird. He doesn't kind of know how to approach her, and then he plays that song for her. And then once the song's done, you know, because he goes there, and he's like, man, I had a joke to tell you, and he ended up forgetting. And then like when after he plays the song and they talk for a second, like he's about to leave, and she's like, oh, what about the joke? Yeah. And then she tells him the joke, and it's just little details like that you're
it's
like,
such a
super sweet.
Yeah, like it's such a sweet human interaction.
Oh, they definitely did that so they can make like his death a lot more impactful.
Yeah,
like
that's so gnarly, dude. Because like, yeah, after you play that scene, you're just kind of like in a happy mood, and then all that shit goes down, and you're just like, what was that about, dude? Like,
well, that's the thing about that game too, is they don't ever let you feel good for long.
Yeah.
Oh no, they don't, dude.
Like as soon as you see stuff going good, you're like, okay, shit's gonna go down right now. Like someone's gonna die.
Yeah, dude. Like this, like there's definitely like parts in that game where you're just like, you go like this, like you're like, tight. But like a second later, they're just like, psych you, homie. Like I'm gonna fuck you up right now.
Yeah, they don't let you enjoy the happiness too long before. I think it's just part of the like, you know, the times that they live in, you know,
which makes it even more realistic because it's like, how else would a human react to a certain situation like that? You know, in America, you know, where it's like you have these people who grew up a certain way and, you know, they held down jobs and they had people in their lives, and now everything is so scattered and separated where it's like you have to hold on to the person who's closest to you, literally, you know, and it's like when you put that in your head and you start seeing how everyone reacts to everyone, it's like it makes total sense, dude. It makes so much sense. Yeah.
How did you guys react to the reveal of who Abby was and like her motivation for wanting to hurt Joel?
I liked it because it made sense.
Yeah. Like
it really makes you, you know, step into her shoes and see it from her perspective. Because if that happened to me, I would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Like it makes you really understand where she's coming from. And I appreciated it personally.
What about you, Birdy?
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Like, it definitely, like Jacob said, like, there's definitely a point where you're, like, playing as Ellie and you're kicking ass and you're, like, going through all this shit. But then you play as Abby and you're just kind of like, no.
And her story is her story is way more intense.
Yeah,
she goes through way more shit to reach where she finally gets to the theater in Chicago, or not Chicago, in Seattle. But yeah, she has to go through so much to get to that point. Like with the being caught by the Seraphites and having to go through all that. It's just, I think she went through a lot more than Ellie. I mean, Ellie had her run-ins with the Seraphites, but it was nothing like Abby. Like the whole scene where like they like almost hang Abby, and she ends up meeting up with like Lev and what's her name? Lily. Oh no, that's Lev's dead name. Lev's sister. What was her name?
I forgot her name. She has like a really cute name. I forgot her name.
I don't know.
I'm drawing a blank.
Yeah,
can't remember her name. But yeah, it's that scene where she meets them when she saves her from the Seraphites.
Yeah, because that whole forest scene is like that shit's pretty gnarly. But like, dude, that's another scene where it's just like, oh man, this is how you have to treat your characters, bro. Because it's like you have to put them through some shit where you're gonna make the audience think like, is this guy a piece of shit or is he cool? But like everything that Abby puts herself through, because she puts herself through so much because of these two fucking strangers.
These two strangers.
Two fucking strangers that she like ran into. Like that's just it.
Yeah.
And she puts herself through so much shit because of that, and it's because of her like moral compass. It's like I can either take off and fend for myself, leave them, or I can take care of these people who obviously love each other so much that they're over here fucking like in the shit,
Yeah. And they kind of saved each other too. And Yara's her name.
Yeah.
Yara.
Yeah.
So Lev and Yara. But yeah, Abby saves Yara from the Seraphites, and then she's like, "Hey, like, cut her down." Because Abby's there swinging. Like,
because they're interacting with each other.
Yeah, they're interacting, and Abby's still like swinging.
Holy fuck!
Yeah, she's like.
Yara's like, cut her down. And like Lev's like, she's one of them.
Yeah.
Yara's like, just cut her down.
Yeah, like just help her out.
And then you see those like bruises on Abby's neck for like the next like the whole rest of the game. You see the bruises around her neck.
Yeah,
from hanging on that thing.
Yeah, that fucking detail too, dude. Where you just see that shit like around her neck, where it's just like, damn. Bitch almost died. You know what I mean?
Do you think they planned, like, I guess going back to the ending of the first game, how like that whole hospital scene with the doctors, they didn't, like you said, they didn't really pay attention to who the doctor was.
I don't know. It makes it hard to tell.
Do you think maybe like they planned it, like, oh, we're gonna do a second game, or maybe they were like, we got to come up with an idea, and it was just like a random thing, like.
I think they probably approached it like, we're just going to make one game.
Yeah.
That's honestly how I think they approached it. And then once they saw the popularity, they're like, okay, like they probably had like a writer's circle. They got all the writers together, like, okay, let's brainstorm on how we can continue the story. And I think the angle they went with was probably their best bet.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to know what other ideas they had that they like. I'm sure they had like a top 5 list of like, okay, we can go with these storylines, and I'm sure they probably narrowed it down to this one.
I think so too, because like when you play the first game, it kind of does feel like
a one and done.
Yeah, you're just playing the game.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I mean, looking at it from like a making money standpoint, it's like you have to treat your property like that. You have to treat your first movie or your first game like that, where it's just like, let's just make a storyline, and then.
See how it does.
Yeah, see how it goes. And if it doesn't make money, then we can't make another one. But obviously, The Last of Us made enough money where it got Sony being like, hey, make another one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, well, like Jacob said, they had to put people in a room, and, Sony had to come in and was like, all right, you made enough money. Now come up with your second game. You know what I mean? And, yeah, like, I don't see any other storyline that could have fucked me up as much as whatever the fuck they came up with for the part 2. You know what I mean?
Have we said what like who Abby is? Have we said it at all?
No, we haven't.
Do you want to say it?
Yeah, I mean, she's, I mean, we've gone too deep, I guess. Spoiler alert.
I'll put it in the description.
Yeah, okay. But Abby is like, she's, at the end of the first game, there's a doctor ready to operate on Ellie, ready to basically end her life in order to save humanity, basically. Yeah. Abby is that person's daughter, that doctor's daughter.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously, like, you fucking kill that doctor in the game.
Yeah.
Because I think even when you play that last level, if you don't kill him, if you go straight for Abby, he tries to fucking shank your ass.
Yeah, he tries to shank you.
Yeah.
And, like, you end up grabbing it from him and, like, stabbing him in the throat.
Yeah.
Which is how they show him in the cutscenes when it shows Abby, like, run in and, like, see her dad there. He's bleeding from his neck. Mm-hmm. So I think they leave it so, like, if you don't make a decision,
yeah,
like, it ends like that.
Yeah,
so I think that's probably why they use that. It
makes you do that.
Yeah, it makes you do that.
Oh, but dude, on the third gameplay, I went in there fucking like, boom! Oh. Fuck out my way, homie! I don't give a fuck about your PhD.
Like, because I've beaten the first one so many times. I've done it with the flamethrower. I've done it with, like, the little sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah.
Like, straight to the face.
Yeah, dude.
And then burned the other nurses.
Yeah, because the first time you're definitely like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to do this, you know? But, dude, after the first gameplay, you pop in that operating room being like, boom, like, what's up, homie? I'm here for my daughter.
I want you to talk about a part of the game of part 2 that I remember you telling me you had a rough time playing. Like, it made you want to, like, stop playing.
Oh, right. Yeah. Was it, like, working my way towards that, like, okay. Because when you play part 2, man, like, it's a long game. It's like what, almost 20 hours.
Yeah, it's like 20 hours of gameplay.
Yeah, 20 hours of gameplay. There's a
lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you're gonna play this fucking game, like, immerse yourself in it, dude.
Yeah.
Immerse yourself.
Get comfortable.
Yeah, like, get a couch, order a fucking Lazy Boy from Amazon. Like, do whatever you gotta do, but you're gonna be playing this game for a long fucking time, dude. And, like, it's exactly what I did, which is why I put my PS4 in the living room.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'm gonna fucking sit down for 20 hours. I don't have a couch in my room. I just have my mattress. You know, it's like, I'm gonna put this fucking game in the living room so I can enjoy the fuck out of it. You know. But yeah, like, playing through this whole 20-hour sequence where you're playing half the game as Ellie and half the game as Abby, and you're going through the story and you're going through the motions of, like, why these people are doing that for this reason. Yeah, you definitely get to, like, a point where in this game where you're just kind of like Jacob said, it's like you don't know if you're playing as the protagonist or antagonist.
Yeah. At
a certain point, you know what I mean? But sorry, let me put a pause on that real quick.
Okay.
Because I also want to mention that, like I played this game very late. I was definitely on the late bus for this game. Because, like, the only reason I played this game is because, like, I just found myself at home being like, I need to use my PS4. It's fucking collecting dust, you know?
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm the type of person where if I find out, like, I'm not using something for, like, I want to sell it. So I was like, I don't want to sell my PS4. It's like, let me use it.
Yeah.
And then I saw The Last of Us Part 2, like, sitting on my shelf, so I popped that fucker in. And I didn't even look into it, you know. I just remember the whole controversy coming out when it first came out about how, like, you know, people didn't like playing as Abby because that's fucking stupid or something. You know what I mean? Yeah. And, like,
the purists.
Yeah. And then, like, people were like, I don't fucking like the fact that Joe died because that's fucking stupid. You know? You know, and it's just like, and, like, I popped in this game and I was like, you know what? I really enjoyed the first one. I'm not even gonna pay attention to whatever the crowd is saying at the moment.
Yeah.
Or at that moment that it got released, because I had done no research into this game leading on to 2 years after it got released. You know, I had only been a part of seeing what the crowd was reacting to 2 years ago. You know, but yeah, like, I played this game and, like, I also want to hear your experience, Jacob, after I'm done talking, because I'm about to just like let you motherfuckers know what's up.
That's
like,
what's up. That's what's
up. But like I played this game and like I'm like, you know, first level, like first time playing through it, you know, you hear Joel talking about like, which is like setting up the events of like what Ellie and Abby are gonna go through.
Yeah.
For the rest of these 20 hours, where Joel's like, Tommy and Joe are talking, and Tommy's like, you know, you told this girl what's going on? Have you told her the truth?
Yeah.
And like he kind of has that mindset of like father, where it's like, it's for her own good, bro. Like she doesn't need to know.
Yeah.
And I'll let her know when she needs to know, you know. And like he's like, oh well, that's you, homie. You know what I mean? And then they go off, you know, they get back to Jackson, and then like all this shit starts going down, and then Joel gets killed, and like it's fucked up how Joel gets killed, because it's like
Ellie had to see it. Like,
yeah.
Ellie had to be there.
Yeah, not only that, but you had to play as Abby. You had to play as
after
Abby.
Watching what she did to Joel.
Yeah, after like, you know what I mean? Where it's just like, and Joel was like, Joe's the fucking homie, dude.
Yeah.
Like Joe's the guy you call when you get a flat tire or you run out of gas. You know what I mean? Because like he ran into these strangers and he was like, "Fuck, we got clickers all over the place. Like, come with me, bro." You know, he wasn't like, "Clickers all over the place. Throw these fucking strangers in the way so we can."
Every man for himself.
Yeah, like you know, it's like he was the type of dude to be like, you know, hey, I'm gonna help you out if you're breathing. You know? Yeah. Which made it more fucked up because of what she did. But you're playing this game and you're seeing these events unfold, and then you're just like, why did this fucking bitch just kill Joel?
Yeah.
Fuck, I hate you. You know, why do I have to play as you? Fuck you. You know, like you just fucking killed the guy that I played for so long in the first game, and I didn't even get a chance to play as him because you're over here dealing with some emotional shit. Fuck you. I don't like you, you know? And then you play as Abby, and then like her story starts unfolding, and then you start kind of like questioning yourself. You start questioning yourself, literally. Like you're on your fucking couch or your chair or whatever, and you got your PS4 remote in your hand, and you start going, did I just play as the bad guy for like the first 8 hours of this game?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Am I a murderer? You know what I mean? Because you're watching Abby's story unfold, and you're watching like her shit, like her go through her shit, her friends, her dad, you know, and it's just kind of like, well, I don't think I seriously am thinking twice about Ellie right now.
Yeah.
And that's something that a video game has never, in my 31 years on this planet, that like my first video game was when I was like 8 years old playing Super Nintendo, up until like I said, the last game I played was Snake Eater, and then this game comes along. It's like never in my whole like video gaming life did a video game ever do this to my brain.
Yeah.
But I'm over here like, huh?
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, am I?
It got you shook.
Yeah. Am I seriously getting shook over this game?
Yeah.
Am I getting pissed at a fictional character right now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're going through this shit, and then you get to the point in the game where like you meet up with Ellie. You finally get to Ellie, and Ellie gets to you, and you guys get to each other in the theater in Seattle, and you guys are going at it. And then like fucking like Abby beats the fuck out of this girl, you know? He beats the fuck out of
Beats
this girl.
the shit out of her.
She beats the fuck out of, like, dude, like,
breaks her arm.
yeah, like if I get in a
leaves
fight,
her in a bloody pulp.
yeah, dude, like if I get in another fight one day in my life, like in the rest of my life, I hope I never get my ass kicked like that. Like I'm okay with getting knocked out and getting punched in the face, but dude, this girl beats the fuck out of her.
She's not small. Abby's not small by any
like,
means.
Like Abby's a swole motherfucker, dude.
Yeah.
Like she lifts, you know.
Buff as fuck.
She got bigger arms than me.
Yeah, yeah, dude. Like, and it's like she has to be like that. She has to be built like that. 'Cause it's like she's playing as like a humanitarian. You know, she's taking care of her people.
Yeah.
You know, she's got people to take care of, and there's things going on in the world where they make you step up. You know, there's no room for weakness in this world. And yeah, I mean, you finally meet up with Ellie, and you know, shit goes down, and then like it gets to the point where like they have to call it a truce. There's no morality with these two main protagonists, they have to call it a truce. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
Because it gets to the point in the video game where you start realizing that these two people have souls. These two fictional characters have a moral compass. And it gets to the point in the game where they're just like, I have to call it truce here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it happens because fucking homegirl, what's her name?
Dina.
She's fucking pregnant, and she goes in to defend Ellie because Ellie's getting her fucking ass kicked. And she goes in, and then like fucking Abby's like full of anger and full of like revenge-fueled anger, you know, in her. And she's just like, thanks for getting in my way. Now I'm going to fucking kill you. You know? And it's just like, and Ellie's like, don't. She's pregnant. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
Abby's like, good.
Yeah, Abby's like, good. Yeah, that's literally her fucking reaction where she's just like, two birds with one stone. Thank you.
Oh my
you know?
God, dude.
Thank you for the fuel. You know, and then like the real moral compass of the video game comes into the room, which is Lev. Is like, hey, and she lets her know, like, if you do this,
you're crossing a line.
You're crossing a line that cannot be uncrossed.
Yeah.
You're going a place where there's no exit. You're entering a realm where there's like, that's just it.
Yeah.
You're here. You're stuck there. So think about it. Make your choice right now. Kill this girl and stay there, or be who you are right now and keep being who you are. You know what I mean? And she makes that choice where she's just like, fine, I won't fucking kill this pregnant girl, and I won't fucking kill Ellie either, because I'm human enough to the point where I know what sympathy is, and I know how to control my emotions, you know. But she lets her know, like, hey, if I fucking see you again, I'm fucking killing you, bro. No questions asked. If I see your face, on-site. Yeah, like an on-site green light. You know what I mean? If I see you again, like your fucking heart stop speeding.
Yeah.
And like I seriously thought that's where the game was gonna end.
I thought so too.
Like that's where I thought, like, I was like, oh, what an ending.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
That's where I was, because up until that point it was a lot of gameplay. Mm-hmm. That was like, I was like, this has to be it. I was like, this has to be the ending.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that's a nice segue into, you know,
a possible third one.
Yeah, exactly. We're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Nice job, Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
You know, you've got me looking forward to part 3.
Yeah.
But no, like, it definitely does not end. You still got a little chunk at the end here, and it starts going back to Ellie and Abby, and you know they've separated. They've called their truce. You know, like, Abby's gone to California, and fucking Ellie has stayed at wherever fucking white people town she's at.
Wisconsin somewhere.
Yeah, it's like some fucking
Wisconsin.
Or Wyoming. Sorry, it's Wyoming.
Wyoming. There you go. Wyoming.
Same shit.
You know, but Ellie starts getting like some PTSD going on, because she starts realizing that this journey isn't over for her.
Yeah.
Because she starts realizing, to me, the way that I looked at it, she starts realizing that Joel meant a lot more to her than she realized. Like, this dude meant the world. Like, this dude was daddy. Like, he was dad. He was father of the fucking year, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll be damned if I'm going to let some person kill my father, who taught me everything I know, from, like, fucking using a bow, reloading a gun, defending myself in this post-apocalyptic world. I'll be damned if I let you get rid of that and go have a happy life. I'll be damned, you know? And then, like, even his brother, Joel's brother, Tommy, comes in, like, to her, like autumn home, and being like, you promised me revenge, bro, and I'm over here limping for you. Like, go take care of business, you know? Like, that's fucked up, you know? Don't you keep your word. You keep your word, and you do what you gotta do, you know? And if you're gonna be a bitch, then you'll be a bitch for the rest of your life, you know? He doesn't say that, you know, but that's basically...
Yeah. It's implied.
Yeah, it's implied, you know?
Yeah.
That's just me talking, my bad.
It's not verbatim.
No, it's not. But, like, you know, that gets into her head, and she starts having these fucking, like, nightmares, like, about Joel. And she starts realizing, like, I can't let this shit slide. I'm sorry. I can't. I have to go look for this girl, and I gotta end her.
Yeah.
Because that was my dad. You know, that was the guy that I should have grown old with.
Yeah.
Or I should have buried him, like, when he was older, you know. Not like that. I should not have seen that happen.
And at this point, does Ellie know who Abby is?
Yeah, because they
Okay.
They had meet up. They had like fucking ran into each other so many times. You know what I mean?
And Ellie watched Abby kill Joel.
Yeah, okay, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, she was there. You know, that's the point of this whole story.
Yeah.
It's like, you killed my dad.
Yeah.
I have to kill you now because fuck that. You know, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, she goes looking for this person, and like she does her research, bro. Like, she follows Tommy's lead about how, like, she heard about a girl staying in California, blah blah blah, and she goes to California, starts like doing her investigating thing, runs into people who mentioned Abby, you know, and then she finds Abby. She finally finds Abby, and she finds Liv, you know, and she finds them in this like prison, because I mean, it's still some time going on, but still it's like post-apocalyptic, you know. There's no government, there's no rules, people are still working in clans, they're still working in their own realm of, like, you know, the power takes over and the weak die, you know.
Yeah.
And she finds Abby, and she like goes through all this shit to look for her, finds the camp where she's at, and she's like, I'm looking for her, you know.
The
like,
Rattlers at the resort.
Yeah, it's like, I'm looking for her. Like, well, where the fuck is she at? It's like, go over there, you know. And then like, and then she finally finds her, and she's like on this like gnarly dried up beach, on her way to dying. She's like crucified because she's attempted to escape so many times with Liv that they punished her for it. You know, they starved her. They starved her to the point where she's unrecognizable. Even when she was like cutting her down, you know, when you were pressing the button to cut her down,
easily like 50 pounds.
Yeah,
easily,
I was like
50 pounds lighter.
Yeah, I was like, who are you cutting down? Who is this fucking skinny white girl? You know?
Yeah.
And you walk by a girl you walk by someone hanging who has a like a ponytail like hers, or like a braid, her like signature braid. You walk by a girl who's crucified, and you think it's her, but you walk and she ends up being over there.
Like,
you're like, what the fuck?
Like, you're literally going through this beach thinking like, it has to be this big girl. It has to be this big girl. And then you run into a skinny girl, and it's like, holy shit, this girl's like starved.
Yeah.
She's like 90 pounds, you know, like fucking chopped up her hair, you know, she's buzz cut, you know, and like, it's kind of like, you know, it gets from that point on, it gets to the point where you're getting fucked up. You as the player, you as the person with the PS4 controller in your hand. Yeah. Sorry. From that point on, it's like, you're getting fucked up, dude. Like, Naughty Dog literally was like fucking probably in their offices being like, I'm gonna fuck you up, dude. I'm gonna fuck you up now. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you're cutting this girl down, and like, it gets to the point where it's like, hey, you remember me? You know who I am? You know? And then Abby's straight up like, I'm not doing this. Tired.
Like, I can't let you leave.
Yeah, and then Ellie's like, no, I'm not gonna let you leave, bro. I'm sorry. We're both fucked up. Bro, this is ending right now.
Oh fuck,
you know
dude.
what I mean? Like,
that's fucking heavy, dude.
Yeah, like, it's like, and from, like I said, from that point on, you're the person holding this PS4 controller. Yeah. Good luck. You know what I mean? Good luck. And it's like, you know, she's over here carrying Liv, you know, taking her to this boat, and she's like, I have to get away from these people. I have to get away from here. All I'm thinking about is Liv. All I'm thinking about is this little person that still has all this life ahead of them, you know. But Ellie, being Ellie, is like, no, this ends now. Either I die or you die, you know. And then like, it starts, like, they start going at it, bro. Like, she starts forcing her like to fight. They start going at it, and like, she's like, they're fucking going at it with each other, you know, like fucking.
It's definitely not a fair fight.
It's definitely not a fair fight.
Ellie's got a knife, and Abby's obviously like 50 pounds lighter. She's not ripped anymore. Obviously, she still knows how to fight.
Yeah, she still has that survivor mentality in her brain. Yeah. But her body is like, bro, go to a buffet and go to sleep. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But like, Ellie's over here like, no, I can't let this end the way that you want it to. I have to end it, you know? And they're beating each other's ass, and they're fucking each other up, and Ellie's over here like trying to stab her to death and shit. But like, dude, there's definitely like in the gameplay where you're just like like, there's a point where like you punch Abby, right? You punch her and she goes to the ground, and you approach her, and instead of her being like, I'm gonna get up and beat your ass, like, dude, she's crawling away from you. she's scared. Like, she's fucking like...
You can see it in her eyes.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
like, you can fucking see it in Abby's eyes where she's just like, leave me alone, please.
Yeah.
You know, leave me alone. And Abby's over here like the devil in her brain, like, being like, I'm gonna fucking end you, dude. Fuck you, you know? And, like, you know, it gets to the point where, like, they're beating each other so much. And I couldn't do it, dude. That was the first time in, like I said, my 31 years of being on this planet where I was just like on my couch with my PS4 remote in my hand, and I was just like, I'm done.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the credits, dude. Like, I'm putting this controller down. Like, fucking Ellie's pissing me off, dude.
Yeah.
Like, she's just like, I'm like, dude, I was literally just like looking down at my controller, and I was just like, dude, I wanted to do this so bad. I just wanted to fucking like.
Just walk away.
No, like, I just don't want to do this. I don't want to do this, dude. Like, this is fucked up. This is beyond immoral, you know? And, yeah, I mean, like, it got to the point where it was fucking with me in my head so bad where I was just like, I can't believe this fucking piece of media is doing this to me. I haven't felt something like this since, like, a movie of some sorts, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm over here playing this video game, and it's fucking me up. It's fucking me up bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then, like, yeah, it gets really emotional, and, like, you know, they... Like, dude, that looking at that right now is giving me PTSD, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, oh my God, dude. Like, I can't believe this just happened. Like, I just, like,
What was that he just showed you?
He showed me a still clip of Ellie sitting on the beach.
Just sitting in the water.
Yeah, she's just sitting in the water, just realizing, like, this is over.
Yeah.
But this is over because I want it to be over. You know? And this is, like, and, like, she realizes that when you're done beating Abby's ass, where it's just, like, because, like, there's a part of the game where you're, like, it makes you tap square or whatever, and you're just, like, stabbing this girl and her
No, you're pinning her underwater.
There you go.
You have her like this. You're drowning her. You're like choking her and drowning her, and that's when you see Abby's eyes. Like, she thinks she's gonna die, and Ellie has a flashback of Joel, like, sitting in the chair.
Yeah.
Like, she has a flashback of their last conversation, and then she realizes like, fuck, like, what am I doing?
And that flashback is so key to the ending of, like, Ellie's arc in this part 2.
Yeah.
Because it makes you realize, like, because that conversation she had with Joel, where she finally confronts the guy. Like, she finally...
Yeah, she finally, like it confronts him about everything and kind of, like, makes, like, they're on, like, the path towards, like, kind of reconciling their issues. Mm-hmm.
And that was the last conversation.
That was the last conversation.
But, dude, that conversation is so integral to the fact that it's so integral to Ellie.
Yeah.
That you played through these 20 hours of gameplay that she completely forgot about that. Through the whole game. She completely forgot about that. That's how engulfed in rage and in revenge that this human being was in, that she forgot that. Which makes you realize, like, I just played as the bad guy.
Yeah.
I just played as the bad guy. I just played as the antagonist. And I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
And this flashback that she remembers towards the end of this person's life. She was about to end it, dude. She was about to end Abby's life. You know, and she remembers, like, I'm better than this. This is not what Joe wanted.
Yeah.
And this whole time, she was going through, like, you're going through this whole part 2 game thinking, like, this is what Joe wanted. And even you as a gamer, you're like, this is what Joel wanted. You know?
Yeah.
You're like, this is what I want.
Yeah, this is what I want. And then you start realizing, like, no.
Yeah.
This is not what I want. This is not what Joel wants. Because that conversation is so integral to closing her arc in that game. Because it's like, she confronts Joel and she fucking tells her straight up. Like, she fucking tells him straight up, like, hey, dude, yeah, I should have died. I should have died in that hospital. Millions of people could have been alive right now. But you're over here. You saved my life for what? For what? What am I doing? What has my life amounted to? And he makes her realize, like a dad should, like a father should. Like, it's like, I saved you for a reason. I saved you because your life does matter. And you're going to make something of it one day. And fuck everyone else. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
You know, I'll kill as many people as I have to. I'll kill Abby's dad again. But your life matters. You as a human being, your life matters. Make something of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just her realizing that. It's like letting Abby go and letting Abby roll away her little boat and her sitting there. And even like she murmurs something.
She says, go, take him.
Yeah, she says, take him. Go.
Just go, just
like,
take
go
him.
away.
And you can see Abby's like surprised. She's like
yeah,
she's like kind of unsure, kind of
yeah.
just like, okay.
She's even looking back at her
she like walks away and she's still like looking back like she's not gonna fucking bum rush me.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just like
and is this like the end of the game right
yeah,
now?
and I was like, that's just like
yeah, it's kind of the end. And then like it goes to a cutscene of like the conversation with Joel, and a cutscene to the dance thing, and then it's basically her returning to Jackson to the empty house.
Yeah,
she returns to that. I think the house is somewhere outside of Jackson, but she returns to the house with her and Dina, and
it's empty.
All of her, it's all empty except for her stuff.
Yeah.
All of Ellie's stuff is still there, and the guitar's there, and she goes and picks it up, and she tries to play the song that Joel showed her, but with her finger gone because Abby bit her finger off during the little fight they had. And so she tries to play it and she realizes she can't, and then like everything kind of just all like she realizes like was this even all worth it?
Yeah, like
God damn.
like
yeah. It leaves you like kind of like, you know, you could see her struggling with that like what was the point of all this?
Exactly.
Like I did all this stuff, like what was the point of all of it?
And I like that. I like the fact that she just like leaves her stuff. She leaves her guitar. Yeah. And she just goes away.
And that's where it ends. It ends with her walking out into the distance, like walking away from the house.
Yeah. And it's like, to me, my interpretation was just like her just letting go of that Ellie. Like leaving that Ellie behind, where it's just like, I can't be that killer anymore, man. Like I just can't. You know, Joel's dead and that's it. But he saved me. He saved me for a reason, and I'm gonna make that shit count. There's no way I'm gonna breathe right now and all these people died because of me. There's no way I'm going to keep breathing and keep wasting away. Fuck that, you know. But that was my interpretation, because, like, man, this fucked me up. Like, it fucked me up so bad.
Dude, just hearing you talking about it, I'm like, God damn, dude.
Yeah.
It's deep.
Fucking heavy.
Dude, like I said, I've never played a video game like this, and I praise those guys at Naughty Dog, dude. I praise them.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah, it was worth the wait. And game of the year, 100%.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not only on gameplay, the story alone, 100%. You know what I mean? And fuck those people who gave up on this game. Like the players who gave, like, fuck them. They're stupid. They're fucking dumb. They don't know shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Fuck them. Because this game is like next level as fuck, dude. Yeah. Next level. So this game deserves as much praise as it can get. So those people shitting on it, go fuck yourself.
Yeah, I feel like people who shit on it didn't really give it a chance. Yeah. They kind of took it at face value and didn't really look at the deeper meanings behind everything. Because I don't know, there was a lot going on in that game. There was a lot of different aspects of it. Like you know, when she gets back, like after the whole thing goes down at the theater, like you were talking about with Abby, after she leaves Ellie there with Dina, and like, you know, they fast forward to where, you know, Dina has the baby, they're living in that house, and she's like living a nice, like, relatively happy life. And the fact that she was willing to give that all up to go seek out revenge. And mind you, she had already killed countless people. Like, she killed plenty of people. Like, I haven't counted, but I want to say she probably killed like 100 people during her like trip to Seattle. And during all of it. And I mean, she killed she didn't kill all of them, but she killed most of Abby's friends, most of the ones that were there. Yeah. Like the first one she kills is awesome. Which one? The one where they blow up Shimmer, Ellie's horse. Remember? And they fall through that thing.
Oh yeah.
It's that guy Jordan. Yeah. The one she cut his face. Yeah. And like Ellie's like talking shit to him.
Yeah.
Remember they tie Ellie up, and then Dina tries to save her. She falls through the glass, and then they start scuffling, and then you use your foot to get the glass and cut Ellie loose, and then she ends up killing him. That was one of my favorites, but yeah, she pretty much she kills all of Abby's friends, and Abby even calls her out on it, like, you killed my friends. Like, I let you live and you wasted it.
Yeah.
Like that part really got to me when she's like, I let you live and you wasted it.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah, like I feel like when she was living with Dina, like living that like nice casual life, I feel like she didn't need to take it as far as she did. Like, cause Dina pretty much gave her like an ultimatum. Like, if you go, like, I won't be here when you get back. And she, you know, she ultimately like stood by those words, cause when Ellie came back, she was gone.
Yeah.
But I think at that point is when I realized where Ellie started to kind of become the villain. It's like, okay, you got your revenge. Like, you took out all of her friends, and, you know, you had your confrontation with her, and like, it didn't go your way, but, you know, that should have been closure.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she took it too far. And like, what bothers me is she took it too far, and then when she had the chance to kill her, she didn't. It's like, you did all that. You went through all that. You gave up the life that you had, the nice life that you had, and you didn't even see it through. I felt like I understand why she didn't finish the job, like why she didn't end up killing her. But it's like, think about how much she lost up to that point for it to just end up as like nothing.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, like you had some like profound realization, and, you know, you've had this like newfound sense of like empathy, but now you go back to your, you know, that life you once had, you can't go back to that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the optimist in me like hopes that like maybe at the end, maybe she tries to like reunite with Dina. Like, I like to think like maybe she went back to Jackson, because I assume Dina probably went back there.
Yeah.
So maybe Ellie met up with her and like made amends. I don't know, but I didn't like that part. I didn't like that she like went through all that stuff and didn't even end up doing it. It just felt like it was such a waste, you know?
Yeah.
It was a waste.
It felt like a waste. But man, such a good closing. I still think it's such a good closing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like, it's just like, it felt like Jacob's right. It definitely was a waste to just like give up everything and then not finish it.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was so appropriate.
Yeah. It was.
You know what I mean?
Losing your finger, just like, there was just so much there that happened. You're just like, what the hell? Like, dude, like, the revenge was done. You know, you pretty much avenged Joel's death. You pretty much took out almost everyone who was there is dead. You know, you killed, what was dude's name? Abby's ex-boyfriend's name. I forget what his name.
Yeah, she killed him too.
She killed him.
And the pregnant girl.
And her. And see, that I thought that was interesting, how like the dichotomy, how you had like, you know, with Ellie, you had Dina being pregnant, and then you had homegirl, Abby's, you know,
being pregnant,
arch nemesis in the game. Like, they have like their little beef. Yeah, how she's pregnant. And like, I thought that was interesting how they did that, like the kind of parallels.
Man, that's crazy. Which
is funny, because Ellie's like, oh yeah, Ellie did, you know, to be fair, Ellie did kind of flip out when she saw that Mel was her name, that Mel was pregnant. She did kind of flip out, like, after she killed her and realized she was pregnant.
Yeah, because she didn't know.
She didn't know.
Like, she made that move and was like, because she was wearing like a big baggy jacket.
She was wearing a big baggy jacket.
Yeah, so you could, this little skinny girl looked like a little skinny girl. But then, like, she opened her jacket and it was like, oh, fuck, there's a baby in your belly. And I just fucking killed you. Shit.
And like, she was so distraught, she like threw up, and then she even dropped the map. And that's the map that Abby found when Lev and Abby show up, and they find them dead. Yeah. They find the map. Yeah. And that's when she's like, I'm gonna go get some revenge.
Fuck, dude. Story seems so heavy, so like.
It's one of the heaviest stories I've ever played through. Like, it's
not for the faint of heart.
It's not, dude. Like, it makes me, like, it definitely, like, it makes me realize that everybody who got pissed at this game, bunch of pussies, dude. Bunch of pussies. So many pussies.
They missed out on a really good story.
Yeah.
Man. So to kind of like wrap it up here, is there anything else you guys want to touch upon when it comes pertaining to the game?
I think they did a good job with the scenery in Seattle in particular. Like when she gets up to that part of Seattle, like the hillside with all the houses. When you first start encountering the wolves with that have the dogs.
Oh, I hated that shit.
I hated having to kill the dog. I hated having to kill the dogs. But
I've never hated a dog more in my life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hated having to kill them, but it was you had to kill them first because they track you down.
Yeah.
So like I always made it a point to take them out. But I really enjoy the scenery. I think they did a really good job with the layout of this one. They definitely upped the difficulty. Like the NPCs are a lot smarter. They're not like in the first one. They're kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Like you were able to get away from them easier. Like
they felt kind of basic, like grunty antagonists. You know.
Yeah.
Like in this one, I think they made it more realistic in the sense where like when you kill somebody, they would have a name. Like somebody in their group, like, oh, they killed Kevin. Or they killed so and so.
Yeah.
Like it made you feel it. You're like, okay, this is not just some like random character in the game I just killed. Like that was somebody's like someone's friend or that was someone's loved one, someone they cared about. It made it real.
Yeah, it did.
I really enjoyed that aspect of it. I like that they introduced like the Seraphites as kind of like almost like a neutral third party. As like
they were kind of like next level Fireflies.
Yeah. They were kind of like, they weren't on either side. Like they weren't on Ellie's side. They weren't on Abby's side. They were just kind of there existing.
I wonder if they're going to touch on that lady in the third game. You know what lady I'm talking about?
Which one?
The one you would just see painted on every wall.
Oh, the one that the whole religion's based upon?
Yeah, she's basically like their Virgin Mary. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she was like their martyr.
Yeah.
It would be cool if they touched upon her story because you only kind of see bits and pieces, kind of hear some of her story from like the letters you find. And there's someone you talk to where they're basically saying or you read about, or in one of the letters you pick up, it's like a soldier. It might have been a WLF soldier talking about how he had a conversation with her and was like, the stuff she says is actually pretty, I find it, pretty interesting. Like you could see him kind of getting sucked into her, her whole shtick.
Because she was kind of like the modern day Jesus, but
how she she supposedly saved like some people, like with prayer or something.
Yeah,
definitely. She did something, but they don't really talk. Like you don't really hear people talking about it. You mostly read about it through like the little letters you find.
Yeah,
but yeah, I really enjoy the neutral third party in this game, like the Seraphites. Their whole thing, their whole little island is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
the way they live off the land. I don't know if you've played that part of the game, Fidel.
No, not yet.
It's if you play through it and you get to the part where you go to the Seraphite Island, it's insane.
Yeah,
they have these big old structures they've built, and the way that they harvest crops, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
I was really impressed by how like they portrayed these people.
So has there been a confirmation that there's gonna be a third game?
They're currently working on an outline.
Oh, okay.
So there's literally people sitting in a room right now trying to figure out where the next story is going to go, how they're figuring out what to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but there hasn't been an official announcement, no teaser, nothing. They just confirmed, like, we're working on an outline. We're trying to figure out where the story's going to go for the third game.
Man, well, I mean, I have, like, faith in it, so.
I do, too.
Yeah. So, to end it, I do want to touch upon the announcement of the HBO series. That they're gonna.
I just hope they don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have maybe it's blind faith in HBO's abilities, they do a good job with their series. I'll give them that.
They do.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it breaks that whole like video game movie curse.
Yeah, they didn't do that well. I watched that Uncharted one on Netflix.
Stupid, huh?
It was, I don't know, with Marky Mark and
Tom Holland.
But I'm a Tom Holland fan. I like his acting. I think he's funny.
Yeah.
But it was just a little cheesy. But they definitely set it up so there's gonna be a second one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I don't know.
But you have faith in the
I have
series?
faith in HBO. Yeah. I have, because I think Neil Druckmann's involved in it as well. Mm-hmm. And if he's involved, I'm like, okay, I'm down.
Well, what is he known for?
He's the director of
he's the guy that directed
He's the one who directed
really?
the game. Yeah.
Oh,
he's
okay.
the game director. So he's involved with the series.
Yeah.
And from what I've seen so far, it looks good. I'm really curious to see how they portray the infected.
Yeah.
Like the runners, the stalkers.
Yeah.
Which the stalkers are fucking sketchy.
Yeah, they are.
Those ones fuck me up.
Dude, those are
them,
like zombie crackheads, dude.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, because they're the ones like super dark room, and all of a sudden you see something like
dude.
like kind of peeking his head and then hiding. It's just a creepy, like they creep me out the most.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see how they portray these things, like clickers and bloaters, or the fucking shamblers, those disgusting.
Whatever episode is gonna be that episode where they do the basement where you're like the water's like up to here. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, that is
that's gonna be a scary fucking episode, dude. That was a sketchy fucking time to play that game.
Yeah, from what I've been probably like once a week I'll look up articles and see like kind of what the status is on the show, and they're saying early 2023.
Hopefully.
But they're saying that the first, like, it's definitely going to be a full season, and they plan on making more. But they're saying like the first season's supposed to have elements of the first game and the second game.
Really?
So the first one's going to kind of like go through the timeline of the first game, but it's also going to incorporate some stuff from the second game as well.
Okay.
So I think that should be fun. That should be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Because, I mean, I am a fan of Pedro Pascal as well.
Oh, yeah.
How do you guys feel about the casting of him as Joel?
I just really wanted a Texas man. Man.
That southern twang.
Yeah.
Who would you have cast if the decision was up to you?
I don't know, because that's also hard, because there's not a lot of, like, native Texas actors out there besides, like, Matthew McConaughey. But I don't want him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But unless they find a way to make him look as rugged as Joel did,
That's true.
But Matthew McConaughey's too handsome, But no, I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll look out for it. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you to Jacob for inviting us into his home and joining us on this episode. Very interesting discussion. Like, I want to go home and play it now. Like,
no, I actually plan on playing right now.
Dude, play that fucking game.
No, I know. I gotta play it. But thank you everybody for sticking around. If you're still here with us, and hopefully you've played these games already, so nothing of what they said is a complete shock to you, or maybe these discussions are like convincing you to want to play the game. So that'd be pretty tight, But yeah, thank you everybody. Just check us out on our social medias at BetamaxULTD on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And you could listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, anywhere you get your podcasts. Just search Betamax, and we'll see you next time.
Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving steady.